This is a very pleasant surprise.
I'm really going to embarrass Bill now because Greg had written up a bio to let everybody know. Everybody knows a little bit about Bill, but we all don't know exactly what Bill did. Bill served as a U.S. Army paratrooper during World War II. He entered the service on October 27, 1942. After infantry training, he attended jump school at Fort Benning, Georgia. Subsequently assigned to the 508 Parachute Infantry Regiment. The 508 shipped out to Northern Ireland, stayed for a number of months north of Belfast. A couple of months prior to the Normandy invasion, 508 staged in England. Bill was promoted to sergeant prior to the invasion, assigned as B Company Operations NCO. During the Normandy invasion, on the night of June 5, 1944, Bill boarded a C-47 aircraft for the invasion jump. Bill parachuted over Normandy at approximately 1:30 a.m., June 6th, the last man out of the aircraft. He landed a short distance from the village of St. Mary Glaze. Fellow paratroopers were scattered throughout the countryside as Bill landed in a hedgerow area by himself. As luck would have it, a German unit was practicing anti-airborne maneuvers there. He quickly came under enemy fire. While getting out of his jump equipment, he would have to freeze every time a flare lit up. Any movement drew fire from the German troops. He linked up with other paratroopers, forming a small unit. He was the ranking NCO, no officers in his group. He listened to the input from others and his men. After daybreak, the unit arrived at St. Mary Glaze, secured the town and crossroads. He spent 33 days in combat. In Holland, during the Holland campaign, Operation Market Garden, on September 1944, he parachuted in the daytime into Holland. He landed outside the town known as Nijmegen. Quickly came under German artillery fire, received a battlefield commission as a second lieutenant. His unit lost 1/3 of its men, wounded, killed in action, missing in action in the Holland campaign. Bill spent 44 days in combat in that campaign. There's a side note here that the 82nd and 101st Airborne Divisions were the only U.S. divisions that participated in the Holland campaign. Afterwards, the U.S. Army placed the two units in an area least likely to see enemy action. This would allow for rest and needed replacements. This lower threat area was located in the Ardennes Forest area of Belgium, outside the town of Bastogne. Battle of the Bulge. 17th December 1944, surprise attack by a massive German force at the location deemed least likely to be attacked through the dense Ardennes forest. The 82nd and 101st, undermanned, under-equipped, were thrown into the fray to stop advance, though facing German forces superior in number. The 508th Troopers had more recent combat experience and successfully stopped the advancing enemy troops. Bill spent 23 days in combat, Battle of the Bulge. The list of awards and commendations that Bill has. He has a parachute badge with two combat jump stars. He has a combat infantry badge. There's 2 Purple Hearts. There's 2 Bronze Stars. Officers Battlefield Commission. World War II Victory Medal. Army Occupation Medal. Normandy Campaign, Holland Campaign, Belgian Campaign. He has the Fourragère, or the Croix de Gras cords, one from French, one from the Dutch, one from Belgium. After World War II, the community service, Bill is a very active member of the American Legion. He's a Mason, Shriner, member of the Patriot Guard Riders, and other military veteran organizations. Greg wanted to say his connection with Bill. They both served in the 82nd Airborne Division. They both served in the Airborne Infantry. They both served in the 508th Parachute Infantry Regiment. They both served in the 1st Battalion, the 508th PIR, which I'm not sure what that is. I served one generation later during the Vietnam era. Whereas I'm a student of the 508's World War II history, Bill lived it. Bill was like most young men who served in our military during the Second World War. He was a very quiet, unassuming person who answered his country's call without hesitation. After the war, he returned home and blended back into the landscape of American life. Bill may not be a professional athlete or a movie star, but he's a true definition of a real American hero. He is our hero. I now invite Robert for the formal medal presentation.
First problem I'm going to run into is, where am I going to put it? That's amazing.
Hey, I didn't earn this. All the guys I was with earned it. I did here for Bill.
Yep.
I'm so happy you're here. I'm sorry, go ahead.
For your service on French soil during World War II, the government of France would like to present to you the French Legion of Honor in the rank of knight.
He kissed me on both cheeks and presented me with a French medal. This was right here.
If you want me to kiss you, I will.
No problem. Very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
You're welcome. Thank you.
While we're all standing, I would like to have a moment of silence for all those veterans who have passed before us and are now fighting to protect us. Thank you. May I be seated? Way back when Bill was only Mr. Knapp to me, I asked Bill at one time in the parking lot on a Thursday morning after the ceremony at the cemetery. Having heard a little bit about what he did in World War II, but not nearly all that we know today, I asked him if he would mind coming and speaking at one of my meetings, talk a little bit about himself and his experience in World War II. Immediately after the words left my mouth, I could see in Bill's face that he didn't want any part of it. He didn't want to talk. He didn't want to speak before a group audience. He's basically a shy, unassuming man. I was wondering how could I diplomatically get out of this situation. Well, Bill thought about it for a few minutes, and he looked at me and he said, Joel, I'll do it. So he did it. And to this day, he's one of our best speakers that I've had as commander of this post for the last 2.5 years. He still rates well. And Bill, I told you after the meeting that I owed you. After today, I still owe you. If you'd like to get up and congratulate Bill, now's the time. That's the ends our formal presentation. There's our refreshments in the back, there's coffee, there's water. Please, come on.
Can I say one thing?
You can say one thing.
I want to thank you all for coming. I can't believe all you people did all this for me. I don't deserve it, but thank you. You did it. You did it.
Not yet. I would like to call NEC Ron, the housekeeper, come up and say a few words to Bill. From National.
Thank you. Thank you, Bill. First of all, thank you all for coming here to honor Bill. On behalf of our National Commander, Dale Barnett, the national officers, the 2.3 million members of the American Legion, our Department Commander, Dave Evans, our department officers, and our members of the American Department of Defense, we congratulate you and thank you for what you did, sir.
Thank you. I'd like to welcome also Bobby Oates, who is representing the Women Veterans of Nevada here in the Air Force Association. I'd like to also thank George Hausman, President of Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 17, representing them. Also, I'd like to acknowledge Don Sacco from the VBA, Chapter 1076 in Henderson. Thank you, Don. Let's see, who did I miss? Glynis, representing Glynis Seeley. This is the lady who we see every Thursday morning at the department, who takes care of our membership, who yells at Steve every Thursday morning, and me. But thank you, Glynis, representing Department Auxiliary. Thank you. Anybody else who I missed?
Well done. Where's Sean? Right here.
Hiding.
M, thank you. Thank you for coming, the big help throughout this whole thing. Couldn't have done it without you. I can stop sneaking phone calls now. I'll hide it, my wife, and to you. And also, is Bob Donahue here?
No, I'm not here.
No. Bob Donahue's not here, representing the Patriot Guard. Thank you guys for coming. It means a lot to all of us here today.
Stormy's right here. He's here. Who's Stormy? Stormy.
He's just wearing a
And
hat
Stormy.
today. He's wearing a hat today.
Patriot Guard Commander. Thank you. Haven't seen you in a while.
Would you remind Bill what the American Legion is? He says he didn't deserve it. That's what we do.
There's an example of an American Legion.
What we do.
You're talking about me. I don't know what you're saying. It's okay, Bill. I'll tell you later.
I'll tell you later. I want to thank Bobby for bringing the refreshments. I want to thank Bonjour Bakery and Robert for a donation of the very fine cake back there. Please partake, because actually you don't need any more cake. What else do I have to thank? Raffle. And don't get raffle. Last chance for the raffle tickets. This ends the formal ceremony. Please come up. Say hi to Bill. Pictures, autographs. Thank you all for coming.
Nice to meet you. I see a lot of happy faces.
Yeah, it's a good day. He's happy. He's one that needs to be happy.